Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Govardhan, Hare Govardhan, Hare Govardhan, Jai Hare Govardhan. Jai Gurukrat Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitaya Gaur Premanande. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadanaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namo. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nashya Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adigaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. You are all welcome for Srimad Bhagavatam class at Sri Radha Gopinath Temple, ISKCON Radha Desh. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto, chapter 84. The sages inspiring Vasudeva to be free from the gates to the devas in a grasta ashram to perform sacrifices. So the section which is under discussion from verse number 42 to 54, Vasudeva enthusiastically performed fire sacrifice. As yesterday we have discussed, the sages headed by Vyasadeva and Devrishi Narad, they met Lord Sri Krishna and they, knowing Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, they offered their obeisance, prayers and admiration. Krishna, acting in the role of a kshatriya king, gave all the respect and honor to these sages. And the very famous verse which Srila Prabhupada used to quote oftentimes, going to the holy places, not meeting the saintly people and not hearing Krishna Katha, simply taking bath in the holy water is not better than just gokhar samanaha, like a cow or a ass. So it is important in our holy place to have association of saintly people and hear Krishna Katha. So taking the advantage, Vasudeva asked them questions that as a grasta, what is the responsibility for us to any holy places? And then the sages said, all the grasta has 3 days to repay. The days to the saintly peoples who have given us the Vedic literature to study. The Vedic literature is a rishi rana, a dates to the rishis, and for us in Krishna consciousness, reading Srila Prabhupada's book will make us free from this dates to the rishis. And the second for the grasta is a pitra rana, which means the dates to the forefathers to have children, a son who will perform the parampara rituals for the departed souls, and that Vasudeva you have already accomplished. Only the dates which you have to repay is towards the Deva, which means Supreme Lord and his assistant demigods. So Vasudeva immediately asked them that you act our priest and we are here to organize this fire sacrifice. So yesterday we read that for this fire sacrifice, which is original Vedic fire sacrifice called Shrota Yagya, is for 5 days. One first day, Vasudeva along with his 40 wives were initiated in the ceremony of Yagya, and then the process of Yagya started, oblation and everything is performed. And now today we are reading that after the Yagya is performed, what are the responsibilities which the performer of the yajna has to do. So we are reading verse from 52 and we will go till 61. I think 61 verses on the board for us to recite together. So verse number 52 says, Atha ritta vigyabhyo vadata kale yatha manatam sa dakshinaha swalankritebhyo alankritya gobhu kanya mahadana. Atha means after that, after the completion of the sacrifice. Ritvigvyo means those priests who was officiating the sacrifice. Dadata kale, on a proper time, he gave, Vasudeva gave what? Dakshana. This dakshana, word dakshana, there are 3 words actually we have to really understand properly. When we offer some Lakshmi in front of the deities, it's called pranami. Pranami, it means when we offer obeisance, we offer some gift to the Lord. It's called pranami, it's not donation. Then when some Brahmins or saintly person or sannyasi, when he is doing some spiritual activities for somebody's benefit, then we offer him dakshina. Dakshina is a gift of honor to a respectable saintly person. And then some poor person who is in need of some help, then we give something to him, is called donation. So donation, dakshina and pranami are three different things. Pranami is an obligation we have to give. When we offer obeisance, we have to put something in that which is called pranami. So this is called pranami, or bhet patra. They say bhet means gift, patra means pot. Usually in the temple, there are other parts also to put the grains, fruits, because people come to the temple never empty-handed. They always bring something to offer to the deities. And to the sadhus or the persons who are performing sacrifice, it's given dakshina, it's not donation. Donation is for needy, poor people for their needs. So dakshina is very important. A specific word used here. All priests were offered on a proper time. That's another important thing. On a proper time. There's a specific time when the dakshina has to offer. We go to the Jagannath temple, you feed some Brahmins, they will not get up from the patal unless you give some dakshina. Because they will only wash hands after they get dakshina. So there is a specific time you have to give the dakshina. So as soon as the yajna is over, Vasudeva gave yatha amanatam. Yatha amanatam means as stipulated in the scripture. So dakshina has also to be given according to the rules and regulations of the scripture. It's not just whimsical thing. And so alam karte bhyo alam karte. These priests were already having ornaments on their body. They were already, alam karte means decorated with the ornaments. But Vasudeva still gave them more gifts. Srila Prabhupada writes in some of the purpose that Brahmanas have a lot of cows and wealth. It's not that they are poor, but they use all that for the service of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So they don't keep it for themselves. It's like Prabhupada himself said, I had never started this movement for nothing, hardly 40 Indian rupees, but Krishna is providing me unlimitedly only because I am not using a penny for my personal purpose. So this is most important. Brahmins are not poor, but they use everything in the service of Krishna. So, what else Vasudeva gave to them? Go, cows, bhu, land, bhumidan, say, gift as a cultivable land, cows, and marriageable virgin girls. When they perform some sacrifice and put there's a marriage of somebody, then the priests were also given the kanya. Kanya is the girl which is not married. Mahadhanaha, greatly valuable gifts Vasudeva gave to the priest. So then at the appropriate time, that's most important. And according to the scripture, that's also important. Vasudeva remunerated the priest, gave dakshina, by decorating them with the precious ornaments, though they were already richly adorned, and offering them valuable gifts of cows, land, and marriageable girls. Chakravarti writes, Vasudeva gave donation, dakshina, in the form of gold, jewel, cow, land, and virgin girls. So dakshina is into bracket but there's no other English word for that, so they took donation. So dakshina is different thing. And Lavut Vaishnu Toshni says, after the sacrifice, he decorated the priests with ornaments and gave them donation consisting of great gem, the gold, the land, cows, and the girls. Now next verse. Patni sanyaja abhivrityaischa charitavate maharishya shashno rama hriday vipra vidyamanaha purah saraha. Patni Sanjaya is a type of rites which is at the end of yajna, both husband and wife offer the oblation in the fire is called Patni Sanjaya. That is the final thing. And after that they have a last ceremony that is called adhbhutta snatu means bath. Abhirta snatu, they take a special final bath, and at that bath Charitvata Maharishi along with these saintly people. Ashno, Ram, where they took bath? Rama means Parshuram. Hriday means the big reservoir of water that is called Brahma Kunda. This is the very large reservoir of water at Kurukshetra. And every time when there is an eclipse, solar or lunar, millions of people gather together to take bath in that Brahma Sarovar. And that Brahma Sarovar was actually a big excavated lake of water, and Parsuram was the one who actually had these 4 such type of lake at Kurukshetra, and one of them is called Brahma Sarovar. It's called Brahma Sarovar because Brahma has performed sacrifices there. Vipra along with the Vedic Brahmanas. Yajamana means the one who performed the sacrifice. Vasudeva. Purahasaraha. So the translation go, after supervising Patni Sangya, which means offering oblation with wife, and Abhibhritya ritual to taking bath, the great Brahman sages bathed in Lord Parshuram's lake, which with his sponsor of sacrifice, which means Vasudev, who led them. It means Vasudev was in the front and they were following him. Chakravarti Pad writes, Patni Sanjaya is a ritual in which the sponsor of the sacrifice offers oblations together with his wife. The Brahmins also supervise the final ritual known as Avabhritya bath. Verse 54. Snato alankara vasansi vandebhyo adata yatha striyo tatah swalankrito varnam sa asabhyo anena pujaya. Snato, the sacred bath complete, his sacred bath complete, Abhiratya Snana. Vasudev joined with his wives in giving the jewelry and clothes they had been wearing to the professional reciters. It means they were bandigana and they were suit and magad, and whatever the ornaments they have, those ornaments they give in gift. They gave in gift to those professional reciters. Vasudev then put on the new garment, after which he honored all the classes of people by feeding everyone, even the dogs. So then there was a prasad distribution. So there was a big feast. In that feast, everybody was invited, even the animals, pet animals, they were fed that. So this is Chakravarti Pad writes, having bath, Vasudeva along with wives gave cloths and ornaments to the reciter and fed everyone down to the horses and dogs. Why horses? Because people used to ride on horses in those days. So horses were fed along with the dogs. Vasudev's queen gave cloths and ornament to the reciter. Instead of Santa Alankara, sometime Nana Alankara seen, they worshipped the various castes and other downs to the dog eaters by offering food. So there is no distinction of the different caste system in the yajna. Everybody has a right. Like we have this one big Kumbh Mela, which was last year or this year in February. All the people from all caste and creed, they take bath in one place and there is no restriction. So this varna ashram, upper and lower caste and untouchability is a later, say, vikar or mal-transformation by the different rulers in the Bharatvarsha, from the Muslims to the British. Before that, it was not like that. These verses says all had the same respect in all these sacrifices. The verse number 56. Bandhon sadaran sasutan paribranena bhuyasa vidrabha kaushala korona kashike kaisanjayan sadasya harita vigasuragan na bhuta pitra charanam Shri Niketam manum gyapya samsanta priyasya kratam. With the opulent gifts, he honored his relatives, including all their wives and children. The royalty of the Vidarbha. Vidarbha is the place from where Rukmani came as the primary princess, first wife of Krishna. That is Vidarbha. Kaushala, Kuru is from where Pandavas came, Kashi, Kekai, Saranja. These are the different kings with their family. They were the guest of honor at that sacrifice. To all of them, the gifts. Members of the assembly and also priests witnessing demigods. So priests and also demigods came for their sacrifice. Then human beings and the spirits, Bhuta, forefather Pitra and Charan, semi-demigods. Then taking permission from Krishna, the shelter of goddess of fortune, the various guests departed as they are. They all chanted the glories of Vasudeva's sacrifice. So after gifts, they departed from there, and when they were departing, they took permission from Krishna, the shelter of the goddess of fortune, and they were glorifying the sacrifice performed by Vasudeva. Vasudeva worshipped everyone from his relatives to the Charanas, a class of minor demigods, with gifts as token of his affection, and they all departed. Paryayo. Laghu Vaishnatoshan, he says, he worshipped the Yadus, Bandhus, first his own relatives, Yadus, and the kings of various provinces. He also worshipped all men, Nara, Pramakthas, Bhuta, and Devatas. This indicates all these persons also came to the sacrifice. All were satisfied with the sacrifice by its execution, with all its parts and its beauty. Thus they took permission from Lord and departed. In Gopal Champu it says, sages like Gemini, advocates Purva Vimansa, did not consider another type of Apurva, pious result of action. What the Kumaras who live for Brahma's lifetime and who see everything considered astonishing at that sacrifice should to be regarded as the real result. It means all these different elevated souls, they were enlivened by this wonderful sacrifice. The result of the sacrifice, the sages repeatedly looking at the form called Krishna, which astonished them, Vyas, and which were the shelter of the Yadus and the life of the cowards, did not desire to leave, but knowing they were unqualified to do as they pleased, they asked permission to leave. When the sages with their follower left, they remained there by manifestation of their glory, though they returned home. So these are the verse number 58. Dhritarashtra anujo paratha bhishmo drona prathayamo narado bhagavan vyasa suhirta sambandhi bandhava bandhom parivishya jadum suhirda akalina chetasa yayor vrahkrachena swadesham chapare jana. Now the next group of the near relative they are leaving. The Yadus were all embraced by their friends, close family members and other relatives, including Dhritarashtra and his younger brother Vidura, Pratha and her sons means Pandavas, Bhisham, Drona, the twin Nakul and Shedar, Narad and Vyasadeva, personality of Godhead, their hearts melting with affection. These and the other guests left for their kingdom, their progress slowed by the pain of separation. They were going very slowly. It means this sacrifice took place before the war of Kurukshetra. Still, Bhisham, Drona, and they were all present at this sacrifice. And here, Sanatana Goswami writes, Vyasa is called Bhagavan because he is an avatar. Both Narad and Vyasa were great gurus and elders. Their heart melted with affection because they were their friends. And Yadus, pained by the separation, they departed. Others, Duryodhan, however, were indifferent. It means Duryodhan was there, but he was indifferent to all these last part of the sacrifice where everybody was leaving. Verse number 59. Nandastu saha gopalai bhratyaha puja archita Krishna Rama grasena adhyai nyasta sida bandhu vatsala. Now the turn came some most close personality. Nanda Maharaj showed his affection for his relatives, the Yadus, by remaining with them a little longer, together with his cowherds. During his stay, Krishna and Balaram, Ugarsen, and the others honored him with a specially opulent worship. The word tu, Chakravarti Rapad writes, indicate that Nanda was worshipped much more elaborately even than the son of Pandu, which means Pandavas, by Vasudeva. Because even when everyone else went away, Nanda Maharaj did not leave for a long time. Vaishnava Toshni, Laghu Vaishnava says, when all others had departed by Lord's arrangement, Krishna then stayed for a long time in Kurukshetra with the people of Vraja, without any feeling of restriction. The word tu distinguishes Nanda from all the others at Kurukshetra. Therefore, Nanda was worshipped with valuable articles of worship and remained there. Instead of Bhratya, sometimes Mata is seen, Nanda stayed because he had great affection for friends like Vasudeva, but even more affection for Krishna and Balaram. He was worshipped by Krishna, Balaram, Ugarsen and others like Vasudeva. Vasudeva is not separately mentioned because he had worshipped Nanda as part of this sacrifice previously. Gopal Champu, it says, sending off his relatives bound by affection, Krishna had Nanda and others remained. This was the purpose of pilgrimage. Now, this is the most important. Only this pilgrimage was to meet the inhabitant of Vrindavan, Nanda Baba and his entourage with Krishna, Balaram and Vasudeva. Here we can know one thing, that actually Vasudeva and Nanda Baba are cousin brothers. Their grandfather Devameed has two wives, one Kshatriya and one Vaishya. From a Kshatriya wife there was a son called, from a Kshatriya wife was the son called, from Vaishya wife Parjanya, and Parjanya has 5 sons, Nanda, Upananda, and from the Kshatriya wife there was Sursen, and the Sursen son was Vasudeva. It means the grandfather of Vasudeva and Nanda Baba is one. So therefore the Brijvasis are also Yadavas. They are Yadavas. They are also called Yadavas. And because by profession they have used cow protection, so they are called Gopas, but in a lineage they are Yadavas. So Vasudeva will say in the next verse, brother to the Nanda Baba. So here it says, sending off all relatives, bound by affection, Krishna and Nanda and others remained. This was the purpose of pilgrimage. Since it was not pleasant for them to be without milk, Krishna had some cows sent. In order to fool the enemies, Krishna and the people of Braj placed their camps far apart, went on trip to various holy places in the vicinity. The people of Braj had come to the Kurukshetra with Krishna as their only goal. Since they had attained Krishna, an ocean of nectar, their minds did not wander elsewhere. Though Nanda and Yashoda were filled with waves of bliss by their son, the young sons of Krishna, who filled Nanda and Yashoda repeatedly with intense bliss, just as the rays of moon fill the ocean with water. It means the children of Krishna, they were small, and Nanda and Yashoda were petting them and remembering their dealing with Krishna and Balaram in childhood. Yashoda in Kurukshetra played with her child many times, and sometimes become astonished as she did previously by that black child. In this way, Krishna and the Braj inhabitant become fully satisfied while not being noticed by enemies. Krishna went many times with Balaram to the residence of cow made from cards, similar to those in Braj. And many times he went alone. In those houses he acted like a small child toward his mother. My mind became bewildered, wondering whether he was happy or sad. Verse number 16. Vasudevo Anjasa Utriyaha Manorathamaha Arnavaha Suhirdavrta Prita Manaha Nandaha Kare Sparsham. Having so easily crossed over the vast ocean of his ambition, which means Vasudeva has a great ambition. What was his ambition? When can I meet again with Nanda, Yashoda, and all the Yadus at one place and have a big festival? This was the desire of Vasudeva, which is now fulfilled. It is like crossing over an ocean. Vasudeva felt fully satisfied. In the company of his many well-wishers, he took Nanda by the hand and addressed him as follows. Crossing the great ocean of the desire to perform Vedic sacrifice, Vasudeva felt satisfied and spoke to Nanda. And Laghu Vaishnava Toshni writes, after the death of Kansa, Vasudeva had the desire that he, along with Krishna and Balaram, should meet the people of Vraj somewhere and have a huge festival with all friends, sages and kings. He was now pleased to have crossed very easily over the great ocean, sometime hard to arrange. On another day, surrounded by friends, with all his brothers and elders, he went to Nanda Baba's residence. Sitting on the seat, facing Nanda and taking his hand in affection, he spoke to him. He had come to pacify Nanda at the upcoming suffering at the time of separation from Krishna. Now this is the verse we have to recite. Sri Vasudeva Vacha Bhratra Isha Krita Pasho Nirnam Yasneha Sangita Tam Dustyajam Aham Manye Shuranam Api Yogina Sri Vasudeva Vacha Bhratra Isha Krita Pasho Nirnam Yasneha Sangita Tamadustayajam Aham Manye Suranam Api Yogina Sri Vasudeva Vacha Bhratra Isha Krita Pasho Nirnam Yasneha Sangita Tamadustayajam Aham Manye Suranam Api Yogina. Please recite. Sri Vasudeva Vacha Bhratra Isha Krita Pasho Nirnam Yasneha Sangita Tam Dustyajam Aham Manye Shuranam Api Yogina Sri Vasudeva Vacha Bhratra Isha Krita Pasho Nirnam Yasneha Sangita Tamadustyajam Aham Manye Suranam Api Yogina. Mataji. Sri Vasudeva Vacha Bhratra Isha Krita Pasho Nirnam Yasneha Sangita Tamadustayajam Aham Manye Shuranam Api Yogina Sri Vasudeva Vacha Bhratra Isha Krita Pasho Nirnam Yasneha Sangita Tam Dustyajam Aham Manye Shuranam Api Yogina. Sri Vasudeva Vacha. Sri Vasudeva said, Bhrataha, O brother, Isha, by the Supreme Lord, Kritaha, made, Pashaha, the noose, Nirnam, of men, Yaha, which, Sneha, affection, Sanjitaha, named, Tam, iti, written, Dustyajam, difficult to free oneself from. Aham, I, Manye, think, Surana, of the heroes, Api, even, Yoginam, and for the yogis. Translation by Srila Prabhupada's disciples. Sri Vasudeva said, my dear brother, God Himself has tied the knot called affection. which tightly bind human beings together. It seems me that even great heroes and mystics find it very difficult to free themselves from it. But heroic leaders of the men try to transcend their petty attachment by force of will, while the introspective yogis pursue knowledge for the same purpose. But the Lord's illusory energy, Maya, is much stronger than any conditioned soul. Only by taking shelter of the Krishna, the Lord of Maya, can one become immune to her influence. Chakravarti Pad writes, Vasudev said, I think these bonds of affection are hard to cut. Durbhedam. For warriors, by their strength, warriors are Suranam. Sura means a brave man. Sura. Suravir. Suravir means a brave man, a hero. By their strength. And for yogis, by their knowledge. So there are two examples given here. The affection is created by Supreme Lord for relatives. And a very interesting passage is there in Kunti Maharani's prayers. She is saying, Krishna, please cut my affection to Pandavas and Yadavas. Krishna says, so, Mother Kunti, you want to be separated from me? I am also Yadava? Kunti, no. How can I leave you? Let my thought always follow you, Krishna. Like Ganga is coming from the Gangotri to the Ganga Sagar without any interruption. So then why do you want to get your relation cut of affection with your sons Pandavas and us Yadavas, your relatives? Kunti Maharani is saying, I know one thing, that without the mercy of the devotees, it is not possible to get the mercy of Krishna. So Krishna, Pandavas are also devotees and Yadavas are also devotees. I don't want to cut the relation with the devotees, but I want to cut the affection to the skin disease, Prabhupada, right? Skin disease. Skin disease means superficial attachment to the family relations. I want these Pandavas. Arjuna is a friend of Krishna. How can I have no attachment for dear devotee of Krishna? How can I not have attachment to the Yadavas? They are the very close associate, eternal associate of Krishna. I want to have affection for devotees, but I should not have that same affection at a material level with a skin disease only relation. So this is a very important lesson we have to learn. We have to live with family if we are householders. Even the yogis, they have no family, but it's very difficult for them by knowledge to cut the affection with, after all, yogi has a mother, yogi has a father, yogi is not falling from the sky. All the ones, they are given birth by the grasthas. Grastha is the grastha for all the ashramas and varnas. Grastha is the one who gives them birth, and grastha is the one who maintains them. So therefore, this is the whole episode of Vasudeva as a grastha performing this sacrifice and teaching us how to live in a family life. I'm telling you one example. One saintly person visited one very nice householder's palatial house. And when he entered in the house, he said, "Oh, beautiful! So wonderful, extraordinary house you have." He said, my dear saintly person, it's not mine. It's provided by God by your mercy. I never brought with me this thing. This is Krishna's. All right. He entered inside a nice decoration, interior, and furniture and fixtures. Oh, wonderful! You have everything so lively. He said, no, it's not mine. It's provided by Krishna, by your mercy, Maharaj. Then there was a family members, very sincere, obedient, in a service mood, putting the flowers on the path and, showering flowers and paying obeisance. It was a nice family. He said, it's not mine. Krishna has given me. We are together serving Krishna by your mercy, Maharaj. Then he saw a beautiful temple in the home. Oh, he said, you have nice Radha, Krishna. He said, yes, they are mine. So Krishna is mine and everything else belongs to Krishna. This is the consciousness of a Krishna. This is what actually affection is very difficult to cut. But if we have affection for Krishna, that Krishna wants in Bhagavad Gita, Maya Sakt Manah Krishna, Maya Sakt Manah Partha Yogam Yunyam Madashriya. You give attachment, you have attachment to me, Arjun. Asakti means attachment, affection. So we have not to give up affection. We have simply to change the object of affection from family to the Krishna. Why? Because we have relation with the family of this one life. But we have relation with Krishna eternally. So which relation is more important for us? Which is for all the times. But what this means? Shall we disregard or disown the family? No. Then there is a sutra. Sutra means there is a principle. Love Krishna and maintain relationship with family. Love is only for Krishna because in everybody's heart, Krishna has put his love. Krishna prema nitya siddha sadhya kabunai. The love of Krishna is ready in everybody's heart. It has not to be perfected. It is perfect. Krishna has put love in our heart. For himself, for Krishna. It should not be misplaced in this material world because once we put this Krishna's love in material world, it transforms into lust. So in material world, whatever affection is sort of lust. And same affection, if we revive for Krishna, then it becomes love. So love and lust is a difference of gold and iron. Prema or love is like gold and the lust is like iron. What is the difference? In prema we satisfy the senses of Krishna. In love we satisfy our own senses. This is the difference. And in the preface of Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada writes, everybody is trying to be happy by enjoying his senses. But nobody ever become happy in this world. Therefore, instead of satisfying one's own senses, if we satisfy the senses of Krishna, and then Prabhupada says, this is the central point of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna wants this, Krishna demands this. Krishna wants this, Krishna demands this, that you love me. But you keep relation with the world. Nice, good relation with the son, with the brother, with the wife, with the customer, with the friend. Be nice, gentleman in your etiquette and relation. But love is only for Krishna. This is the basic philosophy for the Krishna. Love Krishna, maintain relationship with the world. We cannot give up relationship. But here that one thing further said, the brave people means they go for war, for the country or for the religious dharma war. So they have to cut their relation with the family. When they go, they know we are going at the bar, we may not survive. And we may not come and back to see our family, our wife, our children. So they cut this relationship by their willpower. In a Kshatriya, actually, Prabhupada used to say, there's no training of Kshatriya anymore. And then when Prabhupada was in America in those days, he says, the American government want to recruit them as the soldiers for Vietnam, but they are not used for this because they are never trained for that. But the Kshatriya, when he knows that there's a war, he is jubilant like a feast for a Brahman. If a Brahman knows there's a feast, he will run to that place. And if the Kshatriya knows there's a war, he will take his sword and go there, because this is his sport, his spirit. And in olden days, this is his sport, his spirit. Turi chupani bag uthaya. If there's a good horse, you just touch to the reins and start running. And Radha padi adhbhut chupani. If there is a Kshatriya and if there is a call of the war, he just come out as if he's going for a festival. Because this is their nature of the Kshatriya. And in Kshatriya, when they're going for war, the wife used to come and put a tilak on his forehead and then give him the sword. Then now you're going. If you have wound on the chest, you come back. If you have wound on the back, never show me face. These were the wives of the Kshatriyas. It means you fight with them. This was the spirit of Kshatriya. So they have to cut their ties with the family by willpower. Higher cause, for higher cause, the protection of the country or protection of the Dharma, they were ready to lay down their life. And similarly, the yogis, by their knowledge of the soul, they completely detach from their relations. Like the sadhus, sannyasis, they have to cut their relation with the whole world because of their knowledge of the soul. One by willpower, one by soul. But still it's very difficult to cut the relationship. It's not easy. Vasudeva is saying, now, soon, Nanda Baba, you and we will separate. You will be separated again from Krishna and Balaram, your life and soul. This is going to give great pain. I know this. Even yogis cannot tolerate. Even the great brave soldiers cannot cut such affection. So how it is a ishakrita. Ishakrita means it is by Lord's arrangement. This noose of affection, this sort of entanglement in this material world is creation of God. And therefore Prabhupada's disciple has phrased in one line the verse of Bhagavad Gita. Devihesh gurmai mamaya durtaya yemam prapadyante mayametan tarantite. This is what they have written. The illusory energy of the Supreme Lord is very difficult to overcome. But those who surrender to Krishna, they can easily cross over the influence of three modes of material nature. Who is speaking this verse? Vasudeva. And Vasudeva is a state of consciousness when somebody crosses three modes of material nature. When somebody crosses three modes of material nature, he is called Vasudeva. This is in 4th chapter of Bhagvatam, 4th canto of Bhagavatam. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabdyate. Sattvam Vishuddham. When somebody is in pure goodness, beyond influence of three modes of material nature, his position is called Vasudeva. And at that level, when he reached to the position of Vasudeva, automatically Krishna manifest in his heart. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada used to say, we celebrate every year Janmashtami. This is the Janmashtami for Vasudeva, Devaki and Nanda and Yashoda. Because Krishna appeared to them. One day devotee has to have his own Janmashtami when Krishna manifests in his own heart. That is our Janmashtami. Because Krishna manifested in the heart of Vasudeva. This is the verse of the 10th canto of Bhagvatam. Bhagavan api vishwatma bhaktanam abhayankara avishesha ansa bhagena mana ananka dumdubi. In the mind of Vasudeva, Krishna manifested along with his all opulences, or along with his all different different answers, Vishnu answers. It means complete Krishna appeared there. So this Vasudeva is a state all the practicing devotees must aspire to reach to. And that is to get free from three modes of material nature. And the process is unalloyed devotional service. The devotional service is the Swarupa Shakti of Sri Krishna. Swarupa Shakti. And it's beyond three modes of material nature. But the devotee is under the influence of different modes. That is third canto of Bhagavatam. There are devotees, they are chanting their rounds, they are performing their sadhana, but still they are under the influence of mode of ignorance because they quarrel, usually they fight, they are mostly angry. And such devotees we should give respect but never associate. Then also there are devotees. So devotional service is pure, but the devotees may be under the influence of mode of passion. He is greedy, he is lusty, he is chanting, he is doing all the things, but still his motive is how? He is greedy, how to accumulate more. And lastly, he is a mode of passion. We should also respect him, but not associate with him. And then there are devotees who are under the influence of goodness. They like Krishna Katha. They discuss Krishna Katha. They are very gentle men. It is better to associate with them. This is what Kapil Dev said. But if by fortune, is by mercy of Krishna, you get a person who is Mahabhagavat, beyond even mode of goodness. He never criticized anybody. He is always only speaking of Krishna. If by Krishna's mercy we get association with such a devotee, then our life is on the path of perfection. We should always aspire to have association with such a dedicated devotee of Krishna, a Uttam Adhikari. That will lead us to the perfection, and the perfection is to awaken the love of God, which is in everybody's heart. And the process is Sharvanadi Shuddha Chitte Karayodaya. By hearing and by chanting, that love will manifest. Our friend Dinbandhu used to give example. It's not applicable to this country. There's a water pump in India. And in the very summer season, when there's too much heat, there's a vacuum created between the level of the water and the visor of the pump. And you use the pump, it's only air coming, no water coming. There is a water, but water is not coming. Here also in our motor, there's air locked, then water will not come. So what the wise man do? He just bring a bucket of water and put a couple cups of water, then the air goes out, and then you pump and the water will come. So the love of God is there, but there's a vacuum created by the illusory energy of the Lord. It's not manifesting. So through the years, if we have couple buckets of Krishna Katha and Krishna Kirtan, then the vacuum will be completely finished and the Krishna Prem will manifest. So our purpose is to manifest Krishna Prem. That is the perfection. And the process is sadhana bhakti. The purpose of sadhana bhakti is to awaken the love of God, or bhav bhakti. But there is a one trick here. Though it is there, seed is there, it is ready to fructify, but you need the water and light for nourishment. And that water and the light are the two energies, samvit and haladini. Samvit, which make us recognize Krishna, and haladini give the ecstasy and bliss in the heart of meeting Krishna. But these two energies, the samvit and haladini, has to come from the heart of a merciful devotee. And when he blesses somebody with these two energies, and when these two energies enter in the heart of a practicing devotee, then the bhav bhakti awakens. Without this, bhav bhakti will never awaken on its own. It has to come from some advanced self-realized devotee. Therefore, the association of devotee is the most important item of devotional service, even among the 5 out of 64 practices of devotional service. 5 are most important. Relishing the nectarian meaning of Bhagvatam every day. Bhagavata Artha Ras Aswadam, Shabda Artha Ras Aswadam, hearing the nectarian meanings of the words of the Bhagavatam, worshipping the deities, chanting holy name, living in the Dharma, and association of devotee. Out of these 5, association of devotee is most important. In the association of devotee, have Bhagavatam. In association of devotee, worship the deity. In association of devotee, chant holy name. In association of devotee, live in a holy Dharma. So, devotee's association is most important. And that, if we take the advantage of that, then our life is definitely on the right path. Chakravarti Pad writes, the extra word durbhedam should be added. Meaning is, throughout the day and night, the two of you are tightly bound by the ropes of affection to my sons. Vasudeva is saying, Nanda Baba, you and Yashoda are tightly bound to my 2 sons, Krishna and Balaram, by the rope of affection. I know this is very difficult to cut. It's not easy. And in Laghu Vaishno Toshani, in 4 verses, Vasudeva indicate that they are all dependent on Nanda. It means Nanda is most merciful because he protected my 2 sons, Vasudeva thinks. He addresses Nanda as brother. Since we are brothers, there is no difference in how we see our children. Since affection is created by Krishna, Lord, it is difficult to overcome. Oh brother, in friendship there is no difference between brother and friend because they are made by the Lord, bonds of affection, and are and hard to give up. One can see something astonishing in this variegated material created, world created by the Lord. Even detached sages bound by the ties of affection, whereas householder like me are not. Vasudeva is saying, because this here ends our purport to this verse by Acharya, and the message is this: affection is natural, created by Krishna, but actually it should be for Krishna. That is the only perfection. Simply affection we have to keep, but keep it for Krishna. So there's one word which is in Sanskrit is called vairagya. And there's another word called tyag. Tyag means detachment by force, like the brave man is doing from his family. or a yogi is trying to do from his relations. This is tyag. But for the devotee, it is not tyag, it is vairag. Vairag, the one meaning of the vairag is vishesha rag. Vishesh means special, rag means attachment. When we develop a special attachment to Radha Gopinath, then automatically, without any external effort, we can be detached from material affection. Very simple. Very simple. Vairag means to get attached to Krishna. Then detachment is automatic. We have seen in devotees, as soon as they start chanting, they develop little attachment towards devotees and Krishna. The all bad things, they give them up. It's not difficult for them to give up intoxication. It's not difficult to give up all the bad association simply because they develop attachment to Krishna. It's very common. All the devotees have this experience of this thing. But this attachment is still in the primary stage. It's like an unripe mango, but it's a mango. When it ripes, then it will be very juicy. And we should aspire for that sweet juice of the devotional service that is called rasa. And that rasa is called dasya rasa, sakha rasa, vatsalya rasa, madhurya rasa. We have to approach to that rasa. And that rasa is our sthai bhav, and that we have to awaken by practicing sadhan bhakti and by mercy of the devotees. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any question or comment? Granthra Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Thank you very much. Sadhu.